Hey, folks, Dave coming to you on a Sunday night, kind of a later Sunday night over here. Not wicked late like I have been doing, but a little bit later. And instead of playing a game tonight, I want to talk about something here. And this is, I'm going to call it sharing is caring. And I know it's kind of a cheesy line, but it is so true. And when I'm talking about sharing, it's a little bit of everything. It's everything, okay? And the one great thing about the community here is how much we share. And it's everything from, the games we're playing, unboxing things, our thoughts on games, our thoughts on, anything in the community going on, our opinions on things that helps us find games and play games. And if we're having problems with games, stuff there. Um, I kind of feel like I'm Bill Murray here in Scrooge. It's like, oh, I call an old army buddy, and you could be doing this on Christmas Eve. That's what I kind of feel like right now, but it's so true. And I was just watching a couple of videos online for some people who haven't posted videos either ever or in a long time, and they're just talking about the games. And one guy was talking about how to do a replay, his thoughts on what goes into a replay. And someone else was talking about a couple of games, and somebody was unboxing something. And that's what I find fantastic about the community is how much we share. And you don't have any idea. Your little nugget that you put up on YouTube or you put up on Facebook at Delphi, and you have no idea how many people see that and like your nugget, and it helps them out. Uh, Nick D coming by. Good to see you. Oh, I like the little thing. I have the same headset as you. No, I don't. You're the aviator headset, but good to talk to you, Nick. Travs comes by. Hi, Trav. Oh, is that the little cone on the dog? Oh, poor doggy. Poor doggy. That's okay. They don't have to wear them for long. Anyway, uh, people have been contributing and sharing so much lately that it's terrific. And I go back to, the app of football I was playing when people were sharing their ideas with me and helping me through it here. So they were taking the time to help me work through some of my Apple football questions. Okay. And I never really had a problem with the game, but there was a couple of things here, that I would go through and struggle with, or again, overthink. And I'm like, okay, well, this, that, and the other. And they would, okay, this is what it is. And today, just watching some of these other videos was just like, this is great. I love watching other people's uh, unboxings of games because it just, again, I do my unboxings and it makes me feel good, and people like watching them. And I like watching other unboxings too because that's what we do, right? Our joy in is there's two joys. There's playing the game, and then there's getting stuff in the mail and opening it up. Expecting that game or that season to come in, or anticipating, when a new season comes out, or, hey, I heard, app is going to be releasing 70 and 80 on football, and then the new baseball's coming out, and Strat's going to be doing another old season. What that's going to be, that anticipation is kind of part of what we do along with playing the game. And when we share these things, it just, I don't know. I really enjoy that. I really do. And Ron comes by, and Jim, thank you so much, Jim. And some Rhodes comes by as well. Steeler fan, Sports Time Machine. I was just watching some of his game here. He was playing earlier. Phoenix Knight coming by. He's playing Apple football. Seems pretty straightforward so far. Really enjoying it. But I do need to tear it down for work tomorrow and continue his 91 payoff pitch replay. Yep. Yep. I get that. Like I said, I don't have a big space here. If I wanted to set up over here in Studio A, I get a much bigger table. But I like it here because I got my computer here, so I can put something on the computer and watch or listen while I'm playing. If I need the bigger space, then I'll come over here, and I've done some things over here as well. Um, but most of the time I do it here. And it's a football. That's the thing about the football is it takes a long time. So when I put it here, I try to play at least a half and then come back and finish the other half so I can put it away so I can pull something else on the table. But I know what you're saying about table space being a little cramped. JAA comes by. Thanks for coming by. And so getting back to sharing is caring. It's everyone here does their part. Like the people in the chat right now, we're sharing in the chat. People are, talking about what they're playing, giving their opinions on things. When we ask questions, they give answers to those questions, and it's fun because we're all kind of in here sharing our thoughts and ideas. On Facebook and Delphi, people will post their answers to questions that I had. Hey, what about this? What about that? People answer questions. I'll answer questions myself. So I'm trying to share. That's a lot what we do here on my channel and on Digital to Dice. We do a lot of sharing as to things we hear in the industry. We try to get people on to talk about their games. In fact, Wednesday night we're scheduled to have Mark back on from Digital Diamond. He's going to talk about Digital Diamond 12. So if you've got any questions on Digital Diamond 12, Wednesday night, probably around 8 o'clock Boston time, that's when we're going to be talking about that. But it's just, I like to share some things. And today I did a video on Apple football because a couple of people had asked me, can you, what are some of the things that you use in the game? So instead of typing it all out, I did a 25, 30-minute video and I explained exactly what I've added to the game and, what's mine and what was somebody else's. Because I don't want to take credit for things that isn't mine or that aren't mine. And so, but it was fun sharing that. And, maybe someone sees that video and they take one thing out of that video and they say, boy, I like that idea. I'm going to put that in my game and their game is better. Because I've done that with other people. I've watched other people play. It's like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that score sheet. Or I like how you did that. Or how do you handle this? It's like, oh, I like that idea. Let me try that. And it makes our gaming experience better. It just does, As Sports Times, I hope you're out of the weather mess. Yeah, we've had some crazy weather around the country here. MD Beeland comes by. Steeler fan is playing some Stratomatic hockey. Game 7, Flyers at Penguins. Here we go. Yeah, Game 7, and I guess Ron's weather is gone right now. That's fantastic. But anyway, yeah, one of the fantastic things about the community is how much we share. And for the most part, when we share what we're playing, our unboxing videos, our opinions, answers to questions, things like that, most of the time it comes from a generally a good place. Now, again, the internet is the internet, and nothing is going to be perfect on the internet. But a lot of things that I see shared and a lot of things I see out there are generally coming from a good place. Okay. And one thing that, I like to see is that whatever game you're playing, if you're having fun with it, no one should be giving you any crap about the game you're playing. Maybe they don't like the game. That's okay. You don't have to like it. I like it. And B, how you're playing it. And again, we talk about this all the time on the show. Unless you're going into a tournament or some kind of league with other people where you need to agree on rules, on your table, do what you want. And there's been sometimes I've done some things on my table and people have, given me all kinds of guff about, oh, this guy couldn't play on this team and why are you playing it like that? And that ruins the game. It's like, not ruining the game for me. It's a heck of a lot of fun. And having this guy on the team is a heck of a lot of fun for me. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to have fun. So if I'm having fun, why are you mad? Why are you mad, bro? But yeah, no, it kind of struck me today when I was watching a couple of the videos. And John was doing one talking about seasons and how to play a replay and what to look for. And he was talking about some of the games that he plays, and it was kind of neat. And I rewound it a few times because I was getting distracted while I was watching it, and I really want to hear what he's got to say about these games. And there was a couple things I agreed with, and a couple things I didn't agree with, and that's okay. He's sharing his opinions, and I'm like, okay, that I agree with, but no, that I don't. And so I might respond to him and just say, hey, I think you're kind of spot on about this, but my opinion for this is it's a little different than yours, and here's what I think. And it doesn't mean I'm trying to set him straight or tell him he's wrong. It just my opinion's a little different. Someone else today was talking about how they pulled out Apple football and they're giving it another try. And they're all excited about it. And I wrote back, I said, it's awesome that you're giving us another try because this is a great game. I feel it's a great game, and I'm glad you're giving it a second try. And I was like, stick with it. And, and then he got back to me and he said that he was trying, I forget what it was now. I don't know if it was a timing system or a scoring system or something like that. He was trying something new in the game that he saw in a different game. He wanted to try it out. And I says, that's the great thing about what we do. You can try something out on your tabletop and see how it goes. If it makes your game better, then that's what we're here for. Your game is better. Fantastic. And if it doesn't, if your game is not better, then you don't use it. And I was going back and forth today. I was on my video. I was talking about the draw play and the screen pass. Those are two of the master game plays. And in the master game plays, it's really designed for face to face or head to head. Whereas I'm going to blitz. Oh yeah, well I'm doing a screen, and that now I got you. But when you're playing solo, you can't quite do all those things that you do head to head. So I'm trying to come up with a way to run a draw on a screen pass that still gives the defense a chance to stop it if I get a good defensive roll. But at the same time, if they're supposed to be playing deep because that's what the chart calls for, well, now I know you're playing deep, so I'm going to run a draw or screen pass, and I'm going to eat you up by gaming the system. I don't want to do that either, but I don't want to have to never use draws and screen passes because I know they're playing a deep defense. So I kicked around in my video something I was thinking about trying, and someone responded and said, here's what I'm trying. So I'm going to try his way too and see which one I like better. And the idea is to find a way that you can play the game and not be gaming the system. Like if a curveball's coming in baseball, well, you're going to swing for the fences. Well, that's not that's not cool. You know what I mean? So I don't want to know what's coming for defense. I want to call my play and let it kind of play out, randomly. And so we're going back and forth. We're going to try a couple things. And so he shared his ideas and I shared mine, and that's what it's all about. John comes by. Hi, John. Good to see you here. And Phoenix Knight says, it's crazy. It's on. I did a wide receiver reverse play tonight. So just more of making my own. I did that like one of the first few games I played. I did a wide receiver end around, I called it, and I let him run the ball. And it was fun. I think he only got a few yards in a play, but it's still, it adds to the fun of it, And what's fun, Phoenix and everybody here, is I've gone back and watched a lot of football videos on YouTube from mostly the 70s. And I was surprised at how many passes there were and how many times they had a back or a receiver throw the ball. I mean, that's not something new. That happened quite a bit. I mean, the quarterback gets it, passes it behind the line of scrimmage, and the guy gets it and he throws it. I'm like, I don't remember that stuff happening back in the day, but it did. So I have to work that stuff into my game sparingly, but I want to work all that stuff into my game. And that's the thing. A lot of these games give you a base. Apper, I think, does a good job of giving you a base. And then from there, you can fill in all the blanks. So if you want to try to, a wide receiver pass or a running back pass, it's in there. You just kind of have to add it and then tweak it so it works for you. You know what I mean? But I did try that myself. And Michael says, nice to be in company of like-minded individuals involved in this great hobby. Yeah, that's the other thing, Michael. It's about sharing. And it's about, being with other people who enjoy what you do. And, and I think, this is my opinion, is that I think the community is actually getting better at the sharing and the caring and a little bit less with the at each other's throats for stupid things. Because we're all in here for one thing, to have fun. And, who are you to say what I can do to have fun? And who am I to say what you can do to have fun? And I found that people are really letting people do their own thing and just being happy for them. And again, when I was telling Jeff and Greg on the APA football show that we did, some of the things I did in APA football, I could tell they were kind of cringing, like, oh man, yeah, no, I'd never play it that way. But they both said, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not wrecking the game, and if you're having fun with it, do it. And I was like, I was pretty happy with that answer that I got. Now if I was doing something crazy and you're like, yeah, well, no, that would cause this to be a problem. So that's kind of wrong according to the rules. They might have said something like that to me, but even then it's like, no, according to the rules, you can do it. Your game, your way. And the way I see it, as long as you play it fair for both teams, You know, you're not telling one team that they can't do something. You're playing it fair, then you're playing it right down the middle, and it's fun. So things that are fun. I know Al, Red Sox fan, when he plays APBA football, everybody has a chance to return a fumble or an interception. And he's like, Dave, I think the same way you are. When the defense gets the ball, they're thinking touchdown. They're not thinking sitting on it. They're not thinking going to the ground. They're going end zone. And so everyone gets a chance. And so, yeah, that's what I do too. Now, the good thing about APBA is they've kind of built in to the fumble returns a lot of zeros. So if it's picked up by a lineman, he's not going to go 70 yards. He's going to go 0. But, you know, he might go 5. You know, I had a play where it was the Patriots, and Grogan was hit and fumbled in the end zone. And the left tackle, I think it was it Leon Gray? I think it was. He picked it up, and I in the end zone. So I was like, I got to have him try to return this because he ran 1 yard. He got out of the end zone by 1 yard on that return and saved me from having a safety. So in that situation there, it worked out, and it was fun. It was a very memorable play for me, and I kind of did it my own way, and it created a story. It was fun. And I share that story with people. And then, you know, some people, and maybe it was Al, it's like, yeah, well, you know, I think I like Dave's way of thinking on this, so I'm going to use it. And other people don't, and that's fine too. And Steeler fan says, with this series, I just went to 15 forward and 10 defensive line changes per period. It's a lot of card flipping, but he's loving it. But that's the thing. That's what you got to do. And you know, you saw what I did. You know, I created my defensive and offensive cards. So when I play strictly cards and dice, I flip my cards, and everyone gets their shift in the game. Now, lately I've been using the helper and APBA, which does it for me. But when I'm playing like Hockey Blast now, which doesn't have a helper, I flip my cards. You know, and it's not the way the game plays. You know, because you're supposed to go down the line and skip lines and double shift, and I don't. I go right to my line cards, and I get different matchups. And for me, that's fun. And for me, it doesn't wreck the game, and it gets my results. So, and John says, I was ordering a new season. Haven't heard or seen which one you ordered. Okay, so the one I showed off was 1981. Okay, I was going to get that at some point. It's like, I don't know how APBA works with going out of stock, or if it's print on demand. But I says, there's no way that I'm going to lose this season. I'm not going to lose out to 81. So I made sure that I ordered 81, and, you know, I'll be paying for it on the credit card next month and the whole bit. But with Ron Juckett's gift for my birthday, I put that towards another football season and a couple other things, and I'll have that unboxing when it arrives. And I'm not sure if it's shipped or not. My credit card was charged, so that must mean it's on its way. So that's going to be a big order. That'll be my last big order until the fall, most likely, unless they come out with the 1980 season, which I'm going to jump all over. So John, I haven't released what that is yet because I don't want Ron to know, because it's kind of, it was a you know, he's you know, that was a present for me that I bought, and so I'll unbox that video when it comes in, and that should be a pretty decent unboxing. And I got a season that I don't think he was expecting me to get. And but I'm excited about it. I researched this season, and I'm excited to play it. And in fact, I might even start working on like what I'm doing with 78 is kind of play every game, you know, and I'll just bounce back and forth between 78 and this season that I got, and try to play everybody, because there's a lot of people that I enjoy in this season. And like Al, Red Sox ends, they're looking to go coast to coast like Space Ghost. Yep. And Howard comes by. Thanks for coming by, Howard. Yep. And again, a lot of people here in the chat here. You know, we've been talking games. We've been sharing ideas with each other. And, you know, it's like, hey, I'm playing it this way. And someone's like, well, I'm playing a little bit different. And, you know, let's see which one works, you know, and one might work for me and not for you, or they both might work. You never know. You know, like the whole rare play thing. I had a couple of people reach out to me and say, hey, look, when it comes to APBA football rare plays, they happen too much. So here's a nice way that after each team's had one rare play is to decide what you're going to do with this rare play. And I took that idea and I put that in my video today, that I'm going to be doing this and that differently when I get rare plays now. And I like the idea. It's something that I wouldn't have thought about. and it come up, and I was like, perfect. This is going to be how I do rare plays from now on, and I'm going to work that into my game and see how it goes. And people shared their ideas, and we come up with something pretty good. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. What's this over here? I don't know what that is on my sweatshirt. Probably a dog bone for my dog. And Steeler fan says Jim Marshall might go 70 yards the wrong way. Yeah. I don't know if that's built in the game. That might be a rare play. I wonder if that would be a rare play anybody would dare to put in. That would have to be a second tier rare play. It really would, you know. Al says the key is just to have fun. That is the key, you know. Just play and have some fun. And Steelers fans, I created card too for the line change like me, so we don't triple shift. Yep, I put mine in there and I shuffle them up. And if they triple shift, you know, again at the end of the period, it all comes out in the wash for me with those line cards. So line one's going to get 5, line two's going to get what 3, and line three is going to get 2 or something like that. So they're all going to get their shifts. And if just so happens that line one comes out 3 times in a row, that's great. Late in the period, they're going to be too tired to play. So you're going to have line 2 or 3 out there. So it's the way I see that is that tells a story. The coach decided to push these guys really hard. Yeah, it either worked or it didn't, but now they have to sit. So now he's paying for it later in the game. So everything tells a story, you know. Benner coming by. Nice to see me chatting as he's just getting off of work. Yeah. This kind of prompted me, this little chat here. Again, I was watching some people their videos on YouTube today. It was kind of fun, you know, that they posted some stuff there and they were just kind of chatting, you know, about some of their favorite games and seasons and some unboxings. And it was really fun to watch and listen to their opinions on things. And again, they were doing this because, you know, they want to be part of the community and share their thoughts. And I got a lot out of these videos. I really did. I've watched a couple of them, you know, a couple times. And it's just like, oh, I want to hear this again. What did he say about that? And boy, that's a different way of thinking about this, or maybe that, you know, even in our Discord, for our Patreons, we're going back and forth in some things. And I was, you know, someone was asking about, you know, printing and the whole bit. And I said, you know, I bought a laser printer, gotta be 4 years ago now, maybe 5 years ago now, probably before I started the show with Ron. And I researched it. I had inkjet printers and just, you know, I just got tired of wasting ink. You know, you buy new ink and then you don't print for a few days and then the red don't print or then the blue don't print. And so you get all brand new cartridges at $30 a whack for something that's as big as my finger and it lasts, you know, maybe a week and then it dies again or it just runs out of ink. It's just the inkjets were just killing me. And so I researched color laser printers. I found one. Staples matched the price at Amazon. I got a great deal for it. It was like couple $100 or so. It wasn't like 500 or 600, that's for sure. I think it might have been less than 250. And I got that. Now they're big honking cartridges there, and they are pricey, but they last forever. These things last forever. In fact, I just found a set of knockoffs on Amazon that were half price from the Hewlett Packard ones, and I'm gonna try those and see how it goes. And if they work, then great. I you know, I'll be saving some money on the cartridges. But the laser printer, they never dry up. I mean, maybe after a year or so, but you know what I mean. The color inkjets would always dry up after a handful of days or a week. If you weren't using it every day, it was drying up, and then you're cleaning it, and it's just a mess. So these ones here, I'll let that thing sit for 2 or 3 months, and then I'll print, and fine. No, I don't have to do anything to it. It just works. And the laser is so much cleaner than the inkjet, and it doesn't smudge like the inkjet. So I was telling somebody in my Discord today, I was sharing with him, look, I bought a laser printer, color laser printer, and I love the thing. And it gets a ton of use over here between my personal and my work. It gets a lot of use. And it just does a fantastic job. And so I said, I recommend that. And again, you know, it's an investment, but if you're going to be doing a lot of PDFs, that's the way to go. You know, and my season ticket cards come out beautiful on that. You know, I don't, yeah, if you saw me playing season ticket the other day, the cards were beautiful, and they print out so nice. And I just cut them on my what do they call that over there? I don't know if I can see my thing over here. It's the orange cutter. I forget what the name of it is now. It'll come to me in a minute, but it's just a little cutter, and just you slide the razor over, and it cuts things, and just I get a perfect cut with that thing, and my season ticket cards are great, you know, and you know I don't need to order the print version of that. I'll get the PDF and do them myself because they come out so nice, you know. The payoff pitch ones, no, I'm going to order payoff pitch. For the price that they charge for the seasons and the quality of the card, you can't beat it. You just can't. Back to the chat room here, and Howard says, a big part of the fun in our hobby is seeing the innovations others make and using or adapting them for our own needs. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yep, I love to see how others think. Exactly, all the time. You'll see someone, and they'll have like a a cutter, or a scissors or something, like, oh, what is that? The corner rounder. I found that actually it wasn't even on a sports site. It was another print and play group I'm with on Facebook, and they showed the corner cutter, so you can round the corners like APA. And I was like, so I bought a couple of those things. Yeah, when I print out my cards, I'm sitting there all night, taking the corners off and making the cards look nice, and some cards look good and some cards don't, but depending on that. But I usually like the corners rounded, like the hockey bones from drive-through cards are rounded, and the APAs are rounded. I like that. So now payoff pitch is not rounded, but that's, again, I'm not going to go around them all because those are just great cards, And David C. coming by. Hope everybody had a great Sunday. Yeah, it wasn't too bad today. I got out to walk the dog, went out with the wife. Finished. Oh my God! So it happened again. It happened again, right? I'm playing. I pulled out Digital Diamond 12, and I'm still playing with that and enjoying that. In fact, Wednesday night at 8:00, we're going to have Mark on live, and we're going to talk to him about Digital Diamond 12. So I pull out a game I wouldn't normally play. It was the Pirates and the Giants, 1979. Now I'm into August now, so I think I'm. Is it August or September? I think I'm in September. I'm September 1st. So I'm trying to wind up this season. And so the Pirates are so far ahead that no matter what happens, it ain't gonna matter. They got it wrapped up. Okay. So I haven't played the Pirates yet in 79. So I pull out my APA 79 set and I play Pirates at San Francisco. And boy, the Pirates are loaded. And they went up 8-1 over the Giants. And I felt bad for the Giants. They were getting smoked. And so I'm playing the game, and it's 8-1, and I had to get up and go. I don't know if we went out to lunch or I walked the dog or whatever I did. I had to leave this on the table, okay? So I went out, did my thing, and then come back later. Okay, I'm going to sit down here, and I'm going to play. Oh, I think I actually started this last night when I was chatting with Al, and then I stopped while I was chatting with him. So I came back to the game. It was 8-1, and it was kind of fun. Pirates crushing the Giants. Probably what happened in real life, because the Pirates are a good team. The Giants were down the bottom of the standings. And so I'm sitting there, and, well, what happens? They get 3 in the 7th. They get 2 in the 8th. And then they tie it at 8-8 in the 9th. So what do you think that means? If anybody gets extra innings, you would be correct. It's 8-1 in the 7th, and I go to extra innings. It's just kind of how it happened. And in that game, the pitcher, Kisson, is it Kison? He hits a 3-run home run for the Pirates. Everything going right for the Pirates. The pitcher hits a 3-run home run. Stargell hits a home run. Everyone's hitting home runs, and it's 8-1. Then I get to the 9th, and it's 8-6, and Jack Clark doubles to tie the game. And we go to extra innings, because it wouldn't be a baseball game here in Studio B if it wasn't extra innings. And so extra innings come. We go to the 12th, and I think Willie Stargell hit a home run to lead off the 12th, and that's, I think, I don't know if it was a 1-run or a 2-run hit. I forget now, but that's all we need. I think he got 2. I think it was a 2-run home run. So somebody got on base, and he homered. And yeah, so that was that, and he hits the ball out, and the Pirates would hang on for the win after blowing an 8-1 lead. But of course, they had to go 12 innings. So that prevented me from playing another game. So I was going to play 2 games. I'm like, well, this game just took me an extra 3 or 4 innings. So I really can't play anything else right now. I don't have the time for it. But it was fun digging out the 79 Pirates there. And let's see. Friend has got a question here. He says, when you play second season, do you play with the offensive tendency ratings? Trying to learn that. I really don't remember much about that. I think that was if they run more or pass more. I don't think I ever figured that out. I think I was stumped at how to use that. And I asked, and someone actually answered the question, but I don't remember. I remember being kind of stumped on the second season tendency rating. So I just kind of called the plays myself. I think is what I did. Sweetest, Jeff's coming by. I think he's been going nuts with the APA, if I'm not mistaken. He's been going crazy with the APA games. Good for that. And Mike, the Fiskars, yes, the Fiskars paper cutter, and they're great. And what's great about it, so it's just a it's just a plastic thing, and it's just got a track for the cutter, and it's all laid out with lines for the measurements, and you just slide the paper in and drop it, and slide it across, and it comes out great. And for the season ticket, I found that you need to cut it exactly in thirds. So I would put the paper into the cutter, and I found the mark, and I put a little mark there so I know that's exactly where I need to go. That's my first cut. Slide it, go up to that mark again. My second cut. So now I got it exactly in thirds, and then I just cut it in half the other way. So if it's 8.5 by 11, so whatever the cut is, 11 divided by 3, that's what I cut. And then I just cut it at 4.25 the other way, and the cards were perfect every single time. And that was great with a Fiskars paper cutter. So highly recommend them for the PDF stuff. Yeah, definitely don't use scissors because you get carpal tunnel by the end of it. Some people have the big things that you had in school. Remember those things in school? The big honking paper cutters? So sometimes they work pretty good. And with the Fiskars, I just go one at a time. I tried to cut 2 at a time. It's just better one at a time. It takes longer, but boy, the cut's just so much better if you're not trying to cut through too much paper. And Al says, oh, Brian Sipe to Rutgers, 69 yards, extra point is good by Cockcroft. Really? That's kind of interesting because Cockcroft, he misses a lot of kicks for me too. And the Browns up 20-14 against the 1980 Patriots. Oh, is that the is that the 1980 season that you got there? Is that what you're playing? So you're playing Browns Pats? Or is that still a greatest hits team that you're playing there, or are you just playing a season? I like the seasons. I do. I find that when I play greatest teams against greatest teams, it's neat to see the greats against the greats, but I just think that you don't have the highs and the lows because everyone's high. You know what I mean? Everyone's at this level, and so even when I play hockey, if it was gonna be Phil Esposito shooting on Ken Dryden all the time, it's like great against great. It's like, yeah, that's neat to see, but sometimes I want to see how the other guys do. I want to see how the bad guys do because that's why you get a little bit of that in your game. You get a little bit of different results. That's why the first thing I did when I got my hockey blast the first time was I played like the Scouts and the Seals. Nobody had a quality. Nobody had stars. It was like, okay, let's see how the game handles really bad teams. I know how it does with the good teams because they all have qualities and they all have stars. How do the bad teams handle? And it was fun to see that play out. That's what I said. Al made a kick. That's what I said. And that is the 1980 season. Okay. That's a fun one. I can't wait for the remake for that. That's a must buy for me. Fenner says he'll be getting his APA out tonight too. I assume APA baseball. Is that what's going to be playing tonight? APA baseball. That's going to be great. Jeff says I'm still waiting to get confirmation from APA on my football order. He ordered 1981, but it's worth the wait. I would find out. Like I say, I've ordered 3 times in the last few months, just a season, and no, actually, 3 months ago, when did I get the APA football now? I forget now. That was in there somewhere. So I got the APA football, and then I ordered a season, and I think I got another season or something. But I would, I get the immediate email confirmation because that's just automatic. And then it usually wasn't more than, now, again, if you order on a Friday, it's different. But if I order on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I would normally get an email confirmation in 24 to 48 hours that, my credit card was charged. And then the next day I would get one with another charge for the adjusted shipping. Okay. Cause I think they charge you a flat rate of $20. And then depending what the shipping is, they go back and they charge you an extra, $5, $6, $7, $10, whatever the shipping is. So that's when you know it's going out. So they charge a credit card. When you get that second charge for that adjusted shipping rate, that's when you know it's on its way, because that's when they get the exact shipping cost. That means it's boxed. What did Karl Malden say? Tagged and bagged and on the next flight out. We tag it, bag it, and get it on the next flight out. Remember Karl Malden? What was that, Eastern Airlines, when they used to ship the stuff before, like FedEx and all that stuff? We tag it, bag it, and get it on the next flight out. You guys remember that one? I'm sharing. I'm sharing some old stuff there. But yeah, Jeff, like I say, if you over the weekend, I don't think they do much over the weekend. So by tomorrow, I would say tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, you should probably see the charge on your credit card. Now you know it's kind of going through the system. I've gotten my stuff in 7 days, 6 to 7 days. So if I order on a Monday, I'll get my stuff the following Monday. If I order on a Tuesday, the following Tuesday. That's how it's been for me. When I place my orders. Now that might mean my stuff's in stock and they just take it off the shelf and put it in a box. Some other people wait longer. Maybe that means they have to print it. That's why they say 14 days, because maybe some of the stuff is print on demand, so they got to have the season printed and then box it all up. I don't know. That's something that maybe we'll have John back on the show and talk to him about at some point. Hi, coming by. He goes, hello, Dave and chat. I just got done playing one of my replays games of the 1990 season with second season. Fantastic. That's pretty cool. That's cool. That's a fun game. I have it sitting here on my table, right over here. I haven't played it in a while, but it's sitting on my table, and I was kind of looking through it there. And am I planning on doing Quick Text Hockey playthrough? Yeah, I haven't got it yet. Grant said he's going to send it to me once he gets caught up on stuff. Grant's like going crazy right now getting the game out. So once I get it, I'll take a look at it and see if I can figure it out and get it on the table. I know some people already got it and already playing it. But he got a hold of me last week or something. He says he's really busy trying to get this out, and once he gets it out, he'll send me a copy so I can play it and show it off on the channel. And we're going to talk to him about it too. He's one of our guests we're planning on having on the show. Apachata come by. I was watching him. The Apachata, he did an unboxing and he got some hockey cards, and I think he got 71, 72. And again, we're talking about sharing. He was doing an unboxing and sharing what he got. He got some golf courses, or at least one course, and they got some hockey cards. They were sharing that, and I like that. I like watching the unboxing and see what people get, and when they start going through the cards to see why he bought the seasons and talking about the different players. And so he had the 71, 72 season, so I sent him a message and says, boy, the Rangers probably the best carded team in 71, 72, because they kicked the crap out of the Bruins in APA and Hockey Bones. So they're a good team. APA, Hockey, Rangers, 71, 72. Bruins have a hard time winning the cup when I've replayed that. And Fenner says, APA baseball with my first game involving Bryce Harper's Phillies. Very nice. And Steel Fan, I've done some tagging and bagging in my time. Yes, you have. Did you get it on the next flight out, though? That's what I want to know. How do you even remember that commercial? This was before the FedEx and, maybe even before the Flying Tigers, if you remember the Flying Tigers. This is before UPS and all that stuff. It was just, you bring it to the airport, and they'll get it on a plane, and they'll send it away. And it was supposed to be faster than the U.S. Postal Service, supposedly. And, okay, APA Chat says, if APA is out of a season, they order more prints of that season on Tuesdays and get the cards by the following Tuesday. They order lots of 20. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. So that way. So if a season's out of stock, they'll order 20 sets. It takes them a week to get it, so that's why things might be delayed an extra week. Okay, good to know. And you've already made a couple mistakes playing APA baseball. Yeah, that's how you learn. Is that you make some mistakes. My biggest thing, and I know Al was making the same mistake, is that we would roll the dice and look at the dice and not go to the card. And it took me a while to get that automatic to roll the dice and go to the card, because you roll the dice, and you're like 13 strikeout, and you're like, no, 13 means I go to the card and look for 13, and then it's a 27, whatever. So it took me a while to, even in hockey, I would roll the dice and I'd be like, yeah, look at that. And it's, oh, no, it's not. I need to go to the card and read the card number, not the dice number. Okay. It took me a while to do that, but I made a bunch of mistakes too. And just, you roll with it and you have some fun. Abachata says, if I order a product and it's in stock, UPS, I receive it in 2 days. Last order took longer. I imagine he ordered more 2023 football. Yeah. If out of stock, like 1984, I would speculate that season is being recalculated. Yeah, that's kind of what I gathered, because there's been a lot of seasons for football that are out of stock, and I'm thinking that they were the older cards, and so they would need to be redone, so to speak, to be kept up with the newer boards and stuff. So in other words, they're not selling older version cards anymore. So everything now has to be updated to the new version, which for me is good, because I like the new version baseball, I like the new version hockey, and I like the new version football. So for me, I'll wait till I can get a good version of the game. My 84 version right now is kind of like a midstream one. It's not quite brand new, but it's not old. It's one of the newer ones. I think it was like 2011 to 2013. It's kind of a weird one. And it doesn't have 50 players per team, so it had a lot less guys carded too. But at least I have it and I can play it, and with some of the better guys, which is all I wanted to do with 84. There's a couple games I want to play, but the superstars is fine. And so Jeff says, thank you. I ordered mine on Wednesday, still waiting confirmation. Okay, so if you order on a Wednesday and you haven't got confirmation yet, that means that they don't have it in stock yet. And I don't think they charge a credit card. I don't think, until it's ready to go out. So just keep an eye on that. Fenner coming by and says, do you have a comparison of payoff pitch versus season ticket? Wow. So now you're talking about a couple of my favorite games here. A comparison. Yeah, I can talk a little bit what's different about it. Payoff pitch, at least the game mechanics, I think it's a little more complex than season ticket. I feel. So you roll your dice, you look at the pitcher card, you get a category, and some of the categories on the card are better for the pitcher and some are better for the batter. Then you roll and go to the batter's card and associate the batter's card and what category it is. And by categories, I mean, like, if you roll on the pitcher's card and you get tough, that's good for the pitcher. That means the pitcher threw a tough pitch. So it's going to be harder for anything good to happen off of that. So then you roll on the batter's card, you look in the tough category, and you'll see that there's a couple of chances for a hit, but most of the time it's going to be an out. And that's how that game works. If you throw into the wheelhouse category, well, that's a meatball. And then you go to the player card, and on the wheelhouse, that's where your home runs and your triples and your doubles are. So the chances of getting a good hit off the wheelhouse pitch is much better than obviously in the tough. So that's kind of how those mechanics work. They do have fast action cards that kind of move that game along, if you will. And so that's kind of how payoff pitch works. Season ticket is you roll 3 dice, the first one being 6-sided, and that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 tells you where to look. So 1 and 2 are off the pitcher card. 3 and 4 are off the batter card. 5 is a defensive check, and 6 is going to be a check on the ballpark itself. And so again, it's a 6-sided die and then 100. So it's going to be 100 to 199, so to speak, and 200, 299. So that's how that goes. And you just follow on the card, and the cards are laid out beautiful. They're clean. Everything's labeled, and it tells you what happened on the play. Single, ground ball, 6-3, whatever. So everything's right on the card with that. So both payoff pitch and season ticket, everything's right there on the card. You do need a chart from time to time, but you definitely need the cheat sheet to show you what the symbols mean. So in other words, if you get, F+/R2 question mark, if you don't memorize that, you just go to the sheet and say, oh, okay, so it's going to be a fly ball. Man on third scores automatically. Runner on second tries to tag to go to third, or whatever it is, So that's kind of how that works out. So they're similar but different. I find that payoff pitch is much more stingy with the running and the stealing. So like, don't try, because it's really hard to steal and run. And with season ticket, I find running and stealing is a lot easier. And so for me, that's more fun because it's easier. Again, when you do the math, it comes out the same, but it just feels to me that it's like payoff pitch is so hard to steal and run. And where a season ticket, if you want to challenge the arm, it's chances are you're gonna be safe. You're gonna be in safe, especially if you're a good runner. That's just me. But both are fantastic. The payoff pitch cards are the best in the industry, and they're not that expensive, and you get every player, which is great. Season ticket, I get the PDFs. I print them myself, and they come out fantastic for me. They're a little bit bigger too. I like the season ticket cards, how they're a little bit bigger, and everything is, you see everything. All the information is right there. And they have everybody carded too. So both have everybody carded. So that's why they're two of my favorite games, because everyone's carded. They're not that expensive, and the game plays fairly simple. I think payoff pitch is a little more complex than season ticket, because there's a little more things going on as far as runner advancement. Whereas the season ticket, you kind of look at the result and the chart says this is what happens. Whereas in payoff pitch, you get a little bit more variety, a little more things happening in there, and so I think it's a little bit more difficult. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I just think it's a little bit more difficult. Jeff says he's gonna be getting Napa hockey later this year. He's gonna stick with baseball and football for now. Yeah, spread it out. Enjoy the baseball and football right now. Enjoy that, and play the heck out of the season you got, and just get the enjoyment out of it. And then look forward to hockey later on. I like to bounce back around. I played all three this week. I played football, hockey, and baseball this week in Napa. Did I play Napa hockey this week? Probably in the last 7 days I did. And I just mix it up on the table, and it's just so fun. It's just so fun doing it that way. And yeah, I must have played APBA because I did the APBA video, because a couple of people are having a hard time figuring out some of the APBA things. And so I decided to do a video going line by line down the APBA chart, explaining what everything is to the best of my knowledge. And a couple of people commented, said that really helped them. So I'm kind of hoping that I did some good with that, and that that I did everything right. I think I did. But if I didn't, someone will correct me. But I'm pretty sure that's how I play it. So this is how I play it, and I try to explain like the forechecking thing and the passing physical rating and stuff like that. And sometimes you just need somebody to spell it out for you, and that's what I tried to do, because APBA hockey is a fun game, and you just got to stick with it. The game itself, right? The instructions, we talked about it a million times. They're messy. They're just sloppy and they're confusing. But the core game itself is great. How they did it is great. There's a lot of charts in the game, I'll give you that. But once you get used to them and flipping them, finding them, whatever you want to do with the charts, the game does move pretty well. And there's a lot of seasons, and they don't have all players carded like Hockey Bones, but they got enough of them to really make it work. You're not really missing anybody significant. That's what I'm going to say. Now again, that's why I play Hockey Bones, is when I want to play everyone, and I don't want to mess around with subs. I want to play exactly who's in the game, even the especially the goalies that played one career game. I go to Hockey Bones for that, and I really like that with Hockey Bones. And APBA doesn't card everyone, but it's okay, because it's still a great enough game that I don't miss those fringe players too much. Ty, sorry, I'm just taking off my jacket here. It's getting hot down here. What does Ty have to say? I'm thinking about sharing my experience with these great games and start doing videos. I love watching all the videos on YouTube. I think it would be fun to do. It is, and I suggest that you do it. It'll be tough at first, because you got to find your way, and what are you going to use, a phone or a camera? Or, do you need to get any equipment? I mean, it takes a while to set up. I mean, I've been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. So I got 5 or 6 years experience, at least doing, some of the stuff here. And then I get many other years, in audio video. So I got a head start on some of this stuff. But, it's always fun to see someone else doing it. Like, look at the APBA 66 with his football games. He's the reason why I bought APBA football. And all he did is take his phone, he put it on a stand, and he's recording the game, and he put it up on YouTube. How simple is that? And he's the guy that pushed me into getting the football game. And now look at me. I'm going nuts with the football. I love it. It's probably my favorite game, is the APBA football. And it was someone with a cell phone. We had some other people doing unboxing, and they're holding their phone, and the cards fell out, and the phone fell over. And it was a heck of a video. It was fantastic watching this unboxing, because I felt for the guy that he's trying to hold the phone and do the unboxing, and it just wasn't working, and we got a good laugh out of it, But he was sharing his experience, and it was great. And we got to see the unboxing, and we got to see the mess that it became, and it was just a good time, and I enjoyed the heck out of that video. And it was probably one of the technically worst unboxings I've ever seen, but it still was great. I wasn't going there to try to get a technically sound video. I was going there to watch someone enjoy the thing. Apachata does the same thing. He did an unboxing the other day, and he's like, here's my hockey cards, here's my golf. Let me show you the courses here. Let me take out the cards, and this is the season I got. And that's what it's about. It's just us enjoying what we're doing and sharing with other people. And I love the unboxing. Oh my God. So those are some of my favorite videos, is when people do the unboxing, because it's like, okay, what did you get? It's just, we're all excited for the next guy, It's like it's kind of like in hockey when someone shows up at the rink and they got like a new pair of gloves or a new stick. Oh, let me see those gloves. Oh man, those gloves are good. Let me see that stick. Oh man, that feels good. That's what it's like. It's sharing your stuff with your buds. And it's just, and then what's great about the unboxes, you can have an idea what to expect when you order that product. That's what I like to see too. So like the payoff picture comes in a brick, and the cards are just everywhere, and you got to sort it out like you work at the post office, and it takes forever. That's kind of half the fun of it, but it still takes forever. But you do get to see every card when you do that. APA comes in, and it's all sorted by team for the most part, so you just got to find the end of the team, and you're usually pretty safe with that. And then you can just put them in the envelope. But Strat comes in the sheets, and you gotta peel them apart. So Strat takes a little bit of work. So everybody does a little bit of different, but still, I love the boxings there, unboxing and videos. Fenner says, I need to get shootout hockey back out. Yes, I played that a couple weeks ago, and I brought out I don't have my cards here, but I brought out my 2 decks of cards. I have 2 decks of shootout cards from Drive-Thru, and one is the blue backs and one is just the white backs. And I just mixed them up when I played the game. And sometimes, I love my helper. The shootout help is great. I love it. Sometimes you just want to play on the table and just flip the cards, and you don't want to be doing anything computer with it. And that's what I did, and it was fun. And I played a couple of games, and it was a blast. It really was. So yeah, shootout's always a good time. And let me see. Brian comes by. Hi, Brian. Good to see you here. Jeff comes by, and he says shootout hockey is his favorite game. Yeah, shootout's such a fun game, and it's inexpensive too. What are the seasons? $7-8, and it's only 5 or 6 sheets that you got to print and cut. It's about as cheap as they come, and it's fantastic. It's such a fun game. It really is. Let's see, Jeff. Yeah, any hints and suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, for his videos. Yep. The best thing is, like I say, just keeping the camera steady is probably the biggest thing. So if you like Tebow, he has a stand. He just puts his cell phone in a stand and connects to his desk, and it just sits over the top while he does it. That it could be that simple. Or you can do like other people do is I have lights all over the place here, so I can light it up and see the table, so you can see the cards, because you need a lot of light. That's the other thing. If you're in a dimly lit room, it's going to be dim. And sometimes you can use 1 camera, 2 cameras, whatever you want to do. Some people have a video camera and do it, like Replay Gamer. He has a nice video camera, so when he records it, it is super quality, a lot better than a webcam. I get jealous of his videos sometimes, because like, how can your video be so clear? Well, when you use a video camera, it's gonna record way better than the webcams that I'm pushing through the internet. And so he gets a really nice video. It's just the only problem with that is that you're recording, and then you have to dump it on your computer, then upload it. And so if you have a video that's an hour or so long, it's going to be a few hours uploading. Because when I do my hockey games at the rink, that's what I do. I film it, I come home, and I have 3 20-minute videos that I got to post, and it's half hour or so for each video to go up. It's more than a minute per minute. It's not a minute-to-minute thing. It's usually a minute and a half upload for every minute of video, and that's on a fast connection. So. But yeah, I encourage everybody to do it. It's fun. You'll get better. You'll do one, and then you'll get the second one and the third. Everyone gets better. Even I'm still getting better at some of the things that I do. Jeff says, Greg says something in the Apple video, which is so true. The dice, no. Yep. I was talking to a friend of mine today. I haven't talked to her in a long time. She's out in California. And I used to do the Game Hounds video with her podcast. And I was trying to explain what I do with these games. And I said, you wouldn't believe the realism in these games. I says, I'm playing a Tom Brady game. And then she knows who Tom Brady is. And I says, it's 4th and 4 at the 4. It's 4th and goal from the 4. 20 seconds to go. So it's either a touchdown or you lose the game. And I says, wouldn't you know, I roll the dice and he has to scramble. And I rolled the dice in a scramble and it said it's a fumble. So I rolled the dice in the fumble and it says that he went 5 yards and fumbled. And I said, that means that he went 5 yards, but as soon as he only needed 4 yards for the touchdown, so he got the touchdown. So I says, Tom Brady, I rolled the dice 3 times. He scrambled and fumbled, but because he fumbled after he scored the touchdown, he scored the touchdown with 20 seconds left to tie the game. I says, how does this happen? How does this happen? Anything could have happened on that 4th. Anything could have happened along that drive along the way. Anything could have happened along the way that wouldn't have set up that play. But it did. That play got set up, and I rolled the dice, and he went in and scored in typical Tom Brady fashion. The dice know. He could have fumbled behind the line, game over. He could have fumbled at the 1, game over. He fumbled after he crossed the line. The rule says that's a touchdown. And I was explaining that to her. I said, this is the stuff that I do, and it's just amazing. And that's why it's so much fun, is because amazing things happen. And I did it. I rolled the dice, and I watched it play out. That was so much fun. And Tim says, I applaud all you content creators. Such a service to the hobby. I've learned so much about these games, including trying some I never looked at. Well, I appreciate that, Tim. I appreciate that, Tim. And well, why I kind of started doing that myself is because when I first started playing these games, like the game-winning drives and some of the Downey games, there were people out there who sadly don't produce any more content, but they were putting out stuff, and I was learning from them. And I was like, oh man, there's people doing videos on these games. It's helping me immensely to learn these games. This is I need to give back. So when I would learn something, learn a game or learn something, I would try to make a video for it. And my first bunch of videos were terrible. I was making mistakes, reading the dice wrong, reading the teams wrong. It's just, but that's the stuff that you go through. And I still make mistakes, but I mean, back in the day, I was making some big mistakes. But I was trying to share what I learned with people so I could make it easier for somebody else. And it just so happens that, years later, my production quality is a little bit better and I kind of know what I'm doing. I still make mistakes from time to time, but I really try to plan out my videos, especially if I'm doing tutorials, and practice it. My APA video that I did for hockey, I practiced that several times. And it took me a couple of takes. There was a couple of times I had to restart that to do my APA video one about the hockey because I wanted it right and I didn't want to make any mistakes. And so I made sure I went through that and did it right. So I tried to give back. So I appreciate it, Tim, that there's a lot of great content creators here and that contribute to the hobby and contribute to everybody, learning games, finding new games and, playing new games and basically helping each other out. There's times that I get stuck and like, hey, what do I do here? And people help you out. They try to give you their suggestions, and whether it's modding the game or it's just kind of, clarifying what the rules mean, there's been times, man, I've been playing this wrong. And someone tells, yeah, this is how you play. Okay, now I'll play it right. And that's happened too when my APA video. Some people like, man, I've been playing this completely wrong. And it's been driving me nuts because I didn't think the game was fun. And now that I'm playing it the right way, now I get it. Now it is fun. It's like, just stick with it. That's all you can do. Stick with it and you'll have some fun with it. And Tabletop Baseball Plus is a great channel. Yep. Yeah, I haven't seen much from him in a while. Yep. There's been a couple of channels that guys have taken some time off from or that don't do as much as they did. like even like a year ago, they were producing stuff. There's a lot of great channels out there, and yeah, some of them still doing, some of them haven't done much in a while, Um, but anyway, um, so yeah. So anything else before we wrap up here? Coming up on an hour right now. I just kind of wanted to jump on late night and say hi and just kind of show my appreciation and just like I say, I gotta go back and watch them tonight. I kind of stopped in the middle to kind of do this before it got too late, but I'm going to probably lay in bed and watch them on my phone. But like I said, one guy was talking about some of the games that he likes to play, and someone else was talking about, um, was it season ticket he was talking about? I think it was or I forget his first name now. He was talking about season ticket, what he likes and what he doesn't like. So I want to go listen to him. I want to get his thoughts on his video on that. I like first impression videos when someone pulls out a game. Like, here's my first game. Here's what I think. And then I like, when a month later they're like, hey, I'm further down the line with this game, and I either like it or I don't. Because our first impressions, they can be very different. Because I've had some good first impressions and I've had bad first impressions. And the bad ones, I'm glad I went back and revisited the game, and now they're better. Because there's a lot of great games out there, and just because I had a bad first experience doesn't mean the game is crap. It just means I had a bad first experience. When I'm ready, I'll go back and play it again and see if I can make heads or tails out of it. A lot of times I do. There was a couple games, and off the top of my head, I don't remember what they were, but there were a couple games I went back to and was like, oh yeah, that's why I don't play this one. So I don't. And Jeff, thanks for stopping by, and everyone have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Yeah, and let's hope that everybody gets their orders. Again, just stay patient. They will get them. Sometimes it just takes a while to do it. And thanks to Appachatta for clarifying a few things as well. So now it looks like my internet connection's going to crap right now. So I'm going to jump out here. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And again, sharing is caring. Share your thoughts, share your videos. Just be nice when you do it, and you'll get a lot further along when you're sharing your ideas and your opinions. Because I like hearing the people's opinions on games, even if I disagree with it. I still like to hear it because it kind of opens some eyes and some doors. Like, maybe I need to think of it this way, or maybe, oh wow, okay, maybe look at it that way. Because again, yeah, I like playing different games, and there's a lot of great games, and some that I need to go back and play again and see if I can make great. And sometimes it takes adding to a game. Sometimes it takes mods or homebrew to make a game great for you. Apple Hockey, a good game. Adding to it has made it a great game. Same with Apple Football. Apple Football is a good game. The mods that I put in my video today has made Apple Football a great game. Now, I don't know if you could take a bad game and make it a good game. I don't know. But I mean, if you got a solid foundation for a game, I think you can make it even better. And that's what Jason talked about in his video. He doesn't mod bad games. And he was just like, and he goes, I know I modded the heck out of Apple Football so I could play it quicker. But he goes, I only did it because it's a great game and I just want to play more of it. So he says, I kind of come up with a way to get results faster so I could play more games. But he doesn't mod bad games. And that makes a lot of sense. So anyway, so thanks for coming by. Appachatta stopped by, Steeler fan, Trav, the whole bunch, Ron McGrath, Tim came by. Jeff Hunter came by, Fenner, Brian, Malbert stopped by for a while. Ty Board Games, our Red Sox fan, Steeler fan, Michael Anderson came by, David C., Howard, and John Clausen stopped by. And I think I was talking to a bunch of these guys. Phoenix Knight, MD Belland, Sports Time Machine, JAA. Some Roads came by as well. Jim SCE. I don't know how you say your last name, Jim. I know we've been talking on Facebook a little bit, but I apologize. I don't know how you say your last name. Trav, it's Nick D stopped by as well. So everybody, thanks for coming by here. Yeah, we're just chatting a little bit here tonight. Now, Red Sox fan, thanks for coming by too. And I like the videos and I like to comment, even in the chat room here. Some people just prefer to be in the chat room. That's great too, because you get to have your opinion. That's why we do these chats. And I know that's why Al does them too, is so we can converse and we can get your thoughts and your opinions in the chat room, whether we're just chatting like this or whether we're playing a game. We can chat and enjoy each other's company that way, because let's face it, a lot of us just play by ourselves, and I like playing and enjoying my time with the community. And even when I'm not here live, and if I'm playing a game, I have someone, on the channel here. So I'll have, if someone's live on YouTube and they're playing a game, I'll have it while I'm playing my game, and I still feel like I'm part of it because I'll be in the chat saying, "Hey, I'm playing my game here too." And it's just, we all can't be in the same room, but we can kind of be in the same internet room. And it's okay. So it's Shay, Jim Shay. Okay, I appreciate that. I wouldn't have got that. I wouldn't have got that, but Shay it is. All righty. And so that is that. All right, folks. Thanks for coming by again. Continue to share your thoughts, opinions, unboxing videos on games, and yeah, that's what makes the community tick. That's what makes the community great. Is that we're all kind of doing our thing together and helping each other out. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that tonight. So, all right, I'm Dave, and we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for coming by. Bye bye.